So I hope everybody is well and nice to see you. A happy Wednesday. If you usually have props, I would make sure that you have one ready just in case, so you don't have to run off and get one. And apart from that, we don't need anything else, so hopefully you are all in good spirits. So come and join me on the mat. We are going to start in child's pose today. So coming down onto your knees, toes together. As always, we're nestling a space for our bottom in between those heels. So toes together, heels open. And we're just going to come down onto the floor, nice and relaxed, allowing the forehead to drop down. A gentle wriggle from left to right, so making sure that everything is easing away from that center line. Around the hips, around the shoulders, just finding a really soft space for your body to fall into. So here we are on a Wednesday evening, again just looking forward to our dynamic session, but hopefully you will be energised by the end of it and feeling good. Again, we're getting to that point where everybody's getting a little bit jittery towards the end of lockdown, waiting for the next announcement to come through. So I hope that anxiety levels aren't too high and that you're feeling good this evening, and hopefully we'll feel really good at the end of the session. But just take a moment to acknowledge anything that is perhaps running around your mind this evening. Take a moment to acknowledge any heightened emotions, any signs of tension through your body. Again, perhaps you've been going back on the tube to work this week, so perhaps that's been another source of trauma, anxiety. Again, another reason to join us on the mat this evening and hopefully get rid of some excess tension and bring your body, mind and breath back into balance. So give yourself a nice big breath into the centre of the back to those ends. As you exhale, big old sigh. 2 more of those. Nice big breath in. Big sigh out, let the shoulders fall. Last one, big breath in. Big sigh out. And then closing the mouth but parting the teeth. Just as always, we're making that promise to ourselves here to practice with openness and honesty for the body, acknowledging any tight spaces, acknowledging any feelings of doubt or worry, and taking a moment to clear the mind of anything that isn't serving you so well this evening. Coming to the mat as that empty vessel. And then we're just going to start to take the hands forward, start to lift the elbows up, forehead still on the floor, or on a cushion or a block if you need to. Stretching out through those arms, creeping the fingertips forward, taking a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, big sigh and drop the tailbone while still lengthening those arms forward. A gentle rock from left to right just to ease a little out onto those shoulders, around the hips. Nice long steady breath if you're not already there. And then take those hands over to the right hand side. So you're walking the body over to the right, keeping the head nice and low. And then continuing to walk that left hand a little bit further as you roll your left sit bone down into the floor. So really breathing through that left side body into the rib cage, under the arm. Just noticing what's there for you today, if anything, any tight spots, any blockages. Softening them, easing them a little with your breath. And then wandering over to the left side. Again, we're going to wander those right fingertips just that little bit further and roll down into your right sit bone to really stretch out along the right side body. Really big breaths into that space. And then starting to take those hands back into the centre line. Again, nice and long and open through your breath, all the way down the back body. And on your inhale breath, you're going to come forward into an upward cat. So squeezing elbows, lifting chest, arching spine. And then as you exhale, we're going to round through the back body, lengthening out through the shoulders. Again, inhale breath, you're going to come forward into that upward cat position. Shoulders come back, nestle into that space around the back of the shoulders. And then exhale, push the floor away and lengthen it out in between the shoulder blades, all the way down to the tailbone. Inhale breath to come forward and up, arching through the spine. And then exhale breath, release it out. Inhale breath, lifting and opening the chest, shoulders back, squeezing elbows. And then exhale breath, rounding out through the back. This time you're going to move the body forward, squeezing elbows. Inhale to lift the chest. As you exhale, tuck your toes and sit towards your heels, lengthen out through the arms. Inhale here into our downward dog. And as you exhale, let the heels sink a little closer to the floor. Inhale breath, you're going to move forward into a high plank, shoulders over your wrists. And then exhale, drop those knees, untuck the toes. Inhale, shift the hips forward, lift the chest into a kind of up dog, but knees on the floor. And then exhale, coming back into our lengthened sort of child's pose. Toes tuck. Inhale breath, coming into downward dog. Exhale breath, allowing the heels to soften towards the floor. Inhale breath, coming through into our high plank pose, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift the hips forward, lift the chest and drop the shoulders. Exhale, tucking toes and lengthening hips towards the heels. Inhale, downward dog, lifting hips, noticing shoulders. Exhale, softening back into those heels, stretching along that shoulder line. Inhale, breath to come forward into our high plank, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes. Inhale, shift hips forward and up, shoulders down, opening chest. And exhale, tuck toes, lifting hips back and up. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, heels down, softening chest. Inhale, high plank, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, knees, untuck toes. Inhale, shift hips forward, opening chest, shoulders come back and down. Exhale, tuck toes and sit towards the heels. Inhale, come into downward dog. This time gently sway the hips left to right, paddling the feet, lengthening and straightening each leg, bending each knee. Moving the weight from left to right, just noticing how that feels for the legs. Any residual tension in the back of the calf muscles or hamstrings. Again, from sitting at desks or from doing your lovely run, if you've been able to get one in this week with all the rain. And then coming back into the center line. And again, on your inhale breath, you're going to move the body weight forward into high plank, shoulders over the wrists. As you exhale, push your heels back. Push your shoulders back. As you inhale, push your crown of your head forward. As you exhale, push down through the wrists and lift that space in the center of the shoulder blades. Big breath in. Big sigh out. One more big breath in. Squeeze your elbows and then come up into downward dog as you exhale. Shifting the weight onto the left heel as you inhale up and back through your right foot, flexing it and pushing more weight again back into that left calf muscle. Dropping those right toes so they're pointing towards the floor. Stretching out through the back of the right leg. Big breath in. Big sigh out. And as you inhale, hug that right knee high and towards heart center, shifting the weight forward over the wrists. heel toe the foot in between the hands. As always, if you need to manually move that foot so it's underneath your ankle, underneath your kneecap if you need to. Rolling shoulders up, back and down, settling lower into those hips, shoulders back, coming up higher onto your fingertips. Big breath in, big sigh out. As you inhale, lift the right hand, arm to left fingertips, shoulder blades back into their sockets. Exhale, right fingertips come down. Inhale up and back with that left arm, shoulders down the back body. Exhale, left full palm comes down or onto a block. Inhale up through right arm. Exhale, sweep that right hand behind and bring the right hand into the sacrum. Rolling right shoulder up, back and down. So keeping the right big toe on the floor for this stretch tonight, hugging that right kneecap in, lengthening back through the left heel, and if you want to, you can drop the knee if you're feeling a little bit tight on the legs. Big breath in, big sigh out. And then as you inhale, sweep that right arm all the way up, forward and down, framing that front foot. Take the right foot back into plank pose, and as you exhale, knees, chin, chest. Inhale into our low cobra, shoulders come back. So rib cage is still on the floor, take a breath or two here. Expanding through the chest, opening through the throat, relaxing your eyebrows. And then next inhale, lifting the hips, tucking the toes and extending our way back. Inhale, breath coming into our downward dog. Exhale, breath pulling down through those heels. Again, anchoring that right heel closer towards the floor as you inhale, lifting the left foot, stretching up and back through that left heel, toes pointing down. Nice long breaths into our three-legged dog. Finding your way to opening through that middle back, to lengthening all the way out into that left heel. And then next inhale, hugging that left knee nice and high, coming up higher onto the right toes, heel to the foot in between the hands. Again, we're settling down into low lunge, shoulders come back, hips come down a little in line with your body, pushing away into that right heel. So staying on fingertips, as you inhale, lift up through left arm, shoulder blades back down the body. Exhale, left fingertips come down. Inhale up through right arm. And then exhale, full palm, or you can come onto a block with that right hand. Inhale up with left arm, and then take that left hand into the small of the back, into your sacrum. Rolling left shoulder up, back and down, hugging that left knee into the center line, pulling away through right heel. Big breath in and out. Again, right shoulder comes back into its socket as well as the left. And then inhale, left arm comes all the way up, forward and down to frame that front foot. Inhale, left foot comes back, plank pose. Exhale, knees and chin, chest. Hips nice and high. Inhale into our low cobra, shoulders come back. Again, just a couple of settling breaths here. And then on the next inhale, turn to look over your right shoulder, push down through the right heel of the hand, elbows still bent and tight. Exhale to come to face the front. Inhale up and back, left shoulder, squeezing elbows. And then exhale, coming all the way down. Tucking toes, inhale, coming all the way up and back. Exhaling to settle down into that stretch. And then inhaling into our downward dog. Exhaling, heels come closer towards the floor. Again, next inhale, lifting that right foot, flexing it out. Exhale, hug it all the way high into heart center. Heel toe the foot in between the hands. Again, coming down into runner's lunge, shoulders back, opening chest. No tension in those right toes. As you inhale, lift the arms forward halfway. So you're hugging the belly in, lifting it away from that right thigh, but not too much. Big breath in. Big sigh out. One more inhale here, pulling back through that right hip. And as you exhale, aeroplane arms. Chest is reaching forward. You're trying not to hinge too much from those hips. It's a long line between crown of head and left heel. Again, big breath in and out here. We're going to reach those arms forward again and then take them into prayer, bringing left elbow over onto right knee, rolling right shoulder up, back and down. So coming into this twist, if you need to, you can drop your left knee at any point, or you can open the hands up. Big breath in and out. And then inhale, reaching your prayer all the way up into high lunge. As you exhale, soften down through the hips and the shoulders. Again, that super long breath in and out. Next inhale, raising your prayer. And as you exhale, planting the hands beside the front foot. Inhale back into down dog. Swaying the hips. Again, just a gentle sway from left to right. And then planting that right foot down as you inhale up and back, left foot. Three-legged. Exhale, hug the left knee nice and high. Heel toe the foot. Again, resetting into runner's lunge. Shoulders back, coming up onto fingertips, dropping hips slightly. Big breath in and out. Squeezing pelvic floor, hugging thighs. As you inhale, reach the arms forward. Again, chest is lifted slightly away from that left thigh. Big breath in. Big sigh out. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, hug that left thigh in and reach the arms back. Again, that nice big breath in and out here. Finding length to the chest. Openness across the shoulder blades. And then you're going to reach those arms forward again. Bring them into prayer. Bringing right elbow onto left thigh. Rolling that left shoulder up, back and down. See if you can lift the chest away from that left thigh. Pulling both shoulders back into their sockets. Lifting up right thigh muscle. Inhale, reaching prayer all the way up into our high lunge. Exhale, softening down through hips and shoulders. Still hugging belly in. Still nice and strong here. Pulling back through that left thigh. And then inhale, raising your prayer. Exhale, framing the front foot. Inhale, back into our downward dog. Again, a gentle sway. This time as you inhale, come up high onto toes. Exhale, down through the heels. Inhale up, right foot. Exhale, hug it nice and high. Heels toe the foot. Left heel down, inhale, warrior one. Exhale, down through the shoulders, down through the hips. Inhale, raising arms. Exhale, opening the arms out wide. Clasping hands. Releasing index fingers, Kali Mudra, rolling shoulders up, back and down, and reaching those index fingers towards the floor. Opening chest. Big breath in and out, no tension in the toes. As you inhale, lifting arms, opening chest, and then as you exhale, cactus arms. Shoulders down the back body. Again, lifting the chest here. Next inhale, raising arms. And as you exhale, open it out into warrior two. Heel toe that right foot across into the center line slightly. Shoulders come down into their sockets. Expanding across the chest line, reaching out through those fingers. Turning right palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Softening down through that left shoulder. Up through that right arm. Big breath in and out. And as you exhale, right hand cartwheels down, left hand comes to join, right foot back, plank pose. Your choice of vinyasa, exhale, knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga. Inhale into up dog cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Again, a gentle sway of the hips. And then an inhale up high onto toes. Exhale, down through the heels. Inhale up left foot. Exhale, hug it nice and high. And heel to the foot in between the hands. Right heel down, inhale up, warrior one. Exhale, soften shoulders and soften hips. Still pulling back through that left hip, pulling forward through that right hip. Nice and strong through our warrior one. Anchored through both feet. Inhale up with the arms, up with the gaze. Exhale, arms out wide. Bring them into clasp. Rolling shoulders up, back and down, reaching those fingertips of those index fingers down towards the floor. Try not to let the bottom rib cage flare out. We're using it as a gentle back bend, but we're lifting the torso to expand the chest. Softening down into that left thigh if you need to. Next inhale, raising arms. As you exhale, cactus those arms. Again, think about your shoulders. Think about how that feels for your upper body. Squeezing the shoulder blades slightly into that center line. Inhale up with the arms. Exhale, warrior two. So opening out towards the right side, heel toeing that left foot in so we have nice even hips. Softening down through shoulders, turning the left palm, and as you inhale, lifting up into our reverse warrior. Settling down through right shoulder, opening up through left side, big breath in and out. And then cartwheeling left hand, right hand. Do the same vinyasa, so left foot back into plank, either knees, chin, chest or chaturanga. Inhale into up dog cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Again, nice and long through that sway of the hips, keeping legs straighter now. And a nice big inhale up high onto toes. Exhale down through the heels. And then from here, as you inhale, lifting that right foot up and back. See if you can take it even higher, turning the right toes out towards the side. So keeping the right foot flexed, pulling down through left heel, turning right toes out to the side. If you want to take it that little bit further, you can drop your left elbow. Next exhale, take your right foot over towards your left sit bone. So we're bending that right kneecap up towards the ceiling, opening out through that right thigh. And then coming back up onto that left palm if you have come down onto the elbow, and then taking that right kneecap over towards the left elbow. So you're crossing over the midline, making a little shelf if you can. Next inhale, come up and back into center line with that right foot. Pointing toes now, lifting as high as you can through that hip. And then exhale, coming into the center. Inhale, coming up and back. And if you want to make it floaty, squeeze the elbows, come onto your right rib cage with that right elbow. So right knee over towards your right elbow. And lifting up through that left foot. If you want to, inhale up and back. Exhale, hug the right knee nice and high. And then heel toe in between the hands. So we're going to come forward now into our standing splits. So taking your hands forward by around about a foot. No tension in the right toes, lifting up through left foot. Stretching out through that left hand side. Hugging your head closer towards that right shin if you want to. Big breath in and out, lifting that left foot. And then from here, right hand comes down if you have got it up. And then hug that left knee in towards the center line. So heading towards the left knee, you're going to bend into that right knee slightly. And then on your inhale breath, you're going to kick back with that left foot and straighten your right leg. So as you inhale, kick back with left foot, straighten right leg, and reach the gaze forward, shoulders back. As you exhale, bend through both knees, head tucks to look towards left knee. Inhale to lift and lengthen, shoulders back. Exhale, bending both knees, hugging left knee nice and tight. And then inhale back. No tension in those left toes. Hang both hands a little off the floor now, hovering in a kind of warrior three. And just dangling with those arms, lifting through that right thigh. And then exhale, bending through that right knee. Take the left foot down, warrior one. Shoulders down, settling through those hips. Next inhale, raising arms, raising gaze. And then as you exhale, taking arms out and coming into eagle pose. So eagle arms, right arm underneath left, either hands on shoulders, backs of hands or double wrapping. Just make sure you've got your elbows crossed in the center line. Next inhale, raise those elbows. And as you exhale, soften into the hips, soften down through the back of the shoulders. Lifting gaze if you can. Big breath in and out. And then from here, letting the elbows come back in towards the body. You're going to come back up into warrior three. So onto the left toes and either a little hop or come straight up into warrior three. Flexing left foot, reaching those bound arms forward. And then unraveling the arms, reaching both hands forward. Bending through the right knee. Bringing left toes down. So not too far away from your hands, but we're going to sweep that right foot up and back and just have a little hop into handstand play. Just a little hover, making sure it's safe to do so in your house environment. I don't know what you've got around you, but try not to kick the cat. That must be you, Helen. Inhale up, a gentle lift. One more of those, and then place that right foot down, place the left foot back. Nice big breaths into our downward dog. And then we're going to take a moment in child's pose. So knees down, untuck toes, and come back. Again, if your wrist were feeling that, just give yourself a gentle roll out through your wrists. And then bring your hands underneath your head or just your head down. So take a moment in child's pose. To relax the body, allow the heart rate to slow slightly. And then those fuller, deeper breaths all the way along the back. So one more big breath in and out here. And then reaching those hands forward, wriggling out through the fingers so you're nice and open through those palms. As you inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, we're going to lift the hips into our downward dog. Again, we're going to start off with that left foot flex. So as you inhale it up and back into our three-legged dog. And then start to turn that left set of toes towards the left wall. Big breath in and out, opening up through that hip slightly, lifting left heel nice and high. And if you want to, you can come down onto that right elbow, you don't need to. Bending left foot over towards right sit bone now. Left kneecap pointing nice and high towards the ceiling. Still flexing the left foot. And then straightening up through that right arm, if you haven't already, off that right elbow. Nice big breath in and out. And then next inhale, lifting that left knee nice and high and coming over to the right elbow. So crossing through the midline. Inhale up and back, straightening leg. Exhale, hugging high and towards the center. Again, inhale up and back. Your choice if you want to make it floaty. Left knee, left elbow. And then inhale up and back. Again, as you exhale, have the left knee nice and high and heel toe in between the hands. Coming up into our standing split, fingertips come forward by around about a foot, and then right foot comes nice and high. Again, your choice if you want to bring that left hand behind the ankle to draw the head closer. Nice and long through the back of that left hip. Shoulders soft. Left fingertips come down if they're not already there. And as you exhale, bend through the right knee. Hug it nice and high towards the chest. Start to bend a little through that left knee. Head in towards the knees. And then as you inhale, we're going to open it up. So straighten left leg, Straighten right leg behind you and lift your chest. Exhale, bending right knee, bending left knee, hugging head. Inhale, straightening, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, bending. Head comes down. Inhale, straightening. And then we're going to stay here. Hover the hands a couple of inches away from the floor. Taking a moment. Big breath in and out. And then reach those hands forward. She says, feeling balanced, into warrior three. Coming down into warrior one. Lifting chest, shoulders down. So take a moment here, steadying the breath, before we take the left arm underneath right and come into eagle arms. Again, just making sure elbows are crossed. Doesn't matter whether the hands are here, backs of hands, or double wrap. Next inhale, lifting those elbows. As you exhale, soften the hips, soften the shoulders, raising the gaze if it's okay for your neck. Nice big breaths in and out here, softening into those hips a little. And then next exhale, let the elbows come down and towards the belly. Bending through that left knee, coming up high onto the right toes. So going to come into warrior three, whether that's a little hop or straight up is up to you. Reaching those bound arms forward. And lengthening out through that right foot. Aeroplaning the arms. Reaching back through the arms, opening out through the chest. And then taking those hands down. Again, we're going to plant the right foot down, but it's not going to be too far away from the body, so not into a downward dog stance, a little bit closer, so that we can sweep the left foot back and come into our little hops. So left foot comes up, little floaty hops, pushing down through the heels of the hands, looking in between the thumbs. Again, just make sure it's safe in your house environment. Last one, plant both heels down, both feet down into downward dog shape. Nice breath, big breath in and out. And then come down onto the knees. A little wider this time so we can nestle the whole of the body in. So bring your hands into prayer behind the back of your head, the back of your neck. And start to walk the elbows forward slightly. Stretching out the triceps. Back of the shoulder line. As long as it's comfortable, if not, then no worries, just bring the hands down. And then let those hands fall. Just softening out for a moment. Letting the breath come back into the middle back, softening out through the shoulder line. Nice even flow of breath here. And then very slowly starting to roll your way up. Sitting on the shins, rolling the head up last. Take a nice big roll of your shoulders to reset. And inhale, sweeping up and open through those arms. Exhale, hands into prayer at heart. Two more of those. Really nice big breath in to lift. And exhale down. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale down. And then take those hands forward, coming up onto the knees. Just give your hips a little sway from left to right. So we have choices. You can come up onto your left toes and do this exercise, or you can stay on your left kneecap, just depending on how your hips are feeling this evening, or just the body configuration if you don't have any props. I'm going to take the right foot into the middle. I'll start off on the left knee and then we'll move on if we can. So wriggling your right foot into the centre, kind of roll over onto your right little toe side of the foot and let your right kneecap fall out to the side. Again, you can do this just moving forward through the hips and out through that right knee, opening chest on that left knee, or we can tuck those left toes, lift up through that left knee, but make sure the shoulders are over the wrists as your starting point. So big breath in, big sigh out. Next inhale, lift the chest, let the right knee fall out, hips fall slightly. Inhale, squeeze the hips and pelvic floor. Exhale, let the right knee fall, opening chest. Inhale, squeeze into the center. Inhale, opening chest. Sorry, exhale, opening chest. Inhale to come back. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Let the left knee come down. Untuck those left toes if they're not already untucked. And we're going to walk the hands forward slightly to come down onto your left elbow. Again, if your left elbow is not available, either prop it up or come back up onto your palm. And we're going to just slightly roll onto that left hip. So as you roll onto the left hip, just feel that nice big stretch in the outer edge of the glute. I'm sure you're all feeling where we're stretching, but just wanting to kind of roll in and out of it for a moment. And then we're going to come to roll onto that left hip and rest here. And make sure you are supporting your body, but you're still feeling that stretch. So nice big breaths in and out. And then we're going to roll all the way onto that left side so that you can wriggle your right foot out of the way and bring it behind your left leg. So we're coming into a different stretch for the body now. We're still on that left elbow and the right hand. We're just going to let the right kneecap fall towards the right slightly. So again, nice big breath in and out here, feeling supported by your body, but still getting into that stretch. And then the more you breathe, see if you can leave the right kneecap falling out, but straighten that left arm and come all the way down, and see if you can turn towards the right. Let the right arm come down. Again, just a gentle twist for the body. Nice long stretch, using your breath. Again, the more you breathe, see if you can let that right kneecap fall away from you. See if you can let the right elbow fall. And then you're going to roll over onto your belly, reaching fingertips forward and toes back. Bring your forehead down onto the mat and give your hips a little shake from left to right. Hands underneath your shoulders, and then tucking toes as you bring your hips towards your heels. Nice long stretch out through the sides. Just notice how that feels for your back body. And then we're going to come forward into puppy stretch, melting heart pose. Walk those hands forward so the hips are still high. Your chest is coming down towards the floor. It may be too tough to look between the hands, so just bring the forehead down if that's a little too tough for your shoulders this evening. Get nice big breaths in and out here. And then snake the body forward for Sphinx pose. So you'll probably need to rejig the arms. Elbows directly underneath the shoulders. You should be able to see a nice right angle with my arms. Make sure they don't come out too wide so that you're not too low down. Hands nice and open in front of you. So look between your thumbs, and then we're going to start to push down through the elbows to lift your chest. So as you do that, shoulders come back, elbows push down, rib cage is lifting. Still looking between those thumbs. Really draw the shoulder blades back and together. And then on your next exhale, lift the gaze, but not the eyebrows. Just looking forward. It's feeling like one of those sphinxes on the pyramids, looking nice and serene, even though we've been a little sweaty, I'm sure, for the last half an hour. Nice big breaths in and out here, nurturing and nourishing that low spine. So one more big breath in and out. And then we're going to let those arms come out wide. Right here onto your hands. Just take a moment, take a breath. Again, no tension in that low back. And then place those hands underneath the shoulders. Just coming up onto all fours. And again, we're going to start off on our left side. So left foot comes in the centre. Start off on those right knees, and then we're going to wriggle that foot into the middle so that we can come over onto the little toe side of the foot, but the foot is still in the centre line. So hands come down. Again, if you want to take it that little bit further, tuck the right toes, lift away from that right knee. Shoulders are over your wrists. Big breath in. Nice big breath out. Next inhale, lifting chest. Exhale here, softening hips. Inhale, squeezing thighs back into the center. Exhale, let the chest come forward, shoulders out. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again, squeeze the thighs, lifting pelvic floor. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. So we're dropping down onto that right knee, untucking toes if you've not already done so. And then take that right elbow down onto the floor. Again, maybe you're up onto the palm, or maybe you're propped onto a pillow with that right arm. But we're just going to take a moment to wriggle, or rock I should say, from your right hip and then into that left knee. Just a very slow rock. So feel that nice big stretch in your left glute. Excuse me, froggy my throat. So take a moment here and then really roll into that right hip. But just let that left kneecap come a little bit further away from you. Again, a really nice big breath in and out. Softening into those muscles. Releasing and relaxing into that stretch. And then you're going to roll all of the weight onto your right hand side so that you can sweep the left foot, kneecap up beyond that left leg. I'm just going to come over onto the mat just to make sure you can see everything. So again, we're just letting that left kneecap ease away from you. Putting a gentle twist, a gentle stretch. And then after that, couple of breaths, see if you can lengthen that right arm forward and let the left hand come down, turning to look towards the left, letting the left kneecap fall away from you. Get a nice steady breath here. And then when you're ready, come to roll onto your belly Again, fingertips reaching forward, forehead down. This time, lift your feet and just rock those feet from left to right, just to ease out from lower back and hips. And then let those feet come down, hands underneath your shoulders. Come up into our stretched child's pose. Again, nice and long. Before we cross the ankles or just sit down to one side and roll over onto the feet. Just coming into a gentle forward bend before we come down and finish with a twist. So leaving your knees up, take your peace fingers and place them around your big toes. Hopefully that's not uncomfortable. If it is, just place the hands around the feet, but it's easier to walk the feet forward when you've got your fingers around your big toes, if that's possible. So belly onto your thighs. As you inhale, lift your chest. Wriggle those shoulders down the back. Chest stays lifted. And then we're just going to start to walk those feet forward. See if you can keep your belly onto your thighs. So the legs might not be straight. They might be straight after all those lovely hamstring stretches we've done. Nice big breath in. Lift the chest forward, and as you exhale, big sigh. Pull those elbows and those shoulders back into their sockets. So nice long breaths here. And after those couple of breaths, moving into that low spine, into the hamstrings, maybe we can straighten the legs a little, but making sure that the belly stays close to the thighs, heart is moving forward. Chest is nice and open. Closing your eyes down if you want to. Again, just bringing that heightened awareness to where your breath is moving in your body, how that's affecting your body, and how those muscles get that chance to relax and surrender into that space. So one more big breath in, and then as you exhale, just let go of those fingers, let go of those toes, let them fall out wide, and just let the head fall over those legs. Again, don't worry if yours looks a little bit more like this, that's okay, just let everything succumb to gravity now. No tension in the back of the neck, head is nice and heavy, shoulders are relaxed. And then very slowly, rolling up through that center line. Rolling shoulders up, back and down. Shifting your bottom to halfway through the mat. And then grabbing hold of those knees. So walking the feet up towards the body, wriggling on the sit bones, nice and high through that chest. Letting the feet come off the floor. Big breath in. Taking no prisoners tonight as you exhale, bow pose. Maybe not straightening the legs, maybe leaving them parallel, it's up to you. Nice big breath in and out, hugging that belly in, lengthening the body, lifting the chest, dropping head from left to right. Again, a really big breath in and out, opening up. And then placing the hands underneath the thighs, if you can, walking the belly towards those thighs, lifting the chest. If you can reach, grab hold of elbows and let the forearms come underneath those thighs. Again, nice and tall through your back. Big breath in, big sigh out. And then drop those feet, reach the arms forward and roll all the way down. Tucking tailbone under. Just give your arms a little stretch first of all, reaching up behind you. Big breath in. And then I like to say snow angel the arms out to the side. Stretch them out. Bring the hands onto your belly. So placing the heels a little bit closer towards your body, hip width apart. Planting those feet in, hands still on the belly tonight. So really lifting, squeezing and lifting through the whole of the body. So big breath in, big sigh out, and then bridge pose. Hugging in and up through the belly. Exhale, releasing it down. Again, inhale, lifting. So we haven't got the use of the arms today, so really powering through the legs. Again, we've done a lot for those lovely legs today. So using that strength that we've built up. Inhale to lift. Exhale to release. Last one, inhale. Exhale here. Inhale, stretch those arms over the head again. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone and float yourself down. So left leg comes out to straight. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Again, a really nice big hug. A circle around your right ankle. A couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. And then keeping hold of that knee with your left hand. Right arm comes out, either straight to shoulder height or cactus if you don't have enough space. And then we're going to take that right knee over towards the left. Rolling right shoulder up, back and down until turning to look towards the right. So this supine spinal twist shouldn't cause too much tension in the body. So if you're feeling like your right shoulder is in your ear, place your right hand on your hip so that you can relax that shoulder. And if you feel like you need to place your top leg on something, take it a little bit further away from your body and just put the toes onto the bottom leg so you can feel a nice relaxing twist rather than finding too much tension within the body. We should be relaxing and releasing. And maybe close the eyes down. Just letting the body soften. No tension across the face, the jaw, the eyebrows. Nice deep breaths into that compression around the belly, around the digestive system, around the lower back. And then next inhale, coming back into the center. Give that right knee a nice big hug. Straighten left leg down, right leg down. Hug left knee in. Again, we're just going to flex the right foot and circle the left ankle. God, that was a bit like patting your head and rubbing your tummy then. I was trying to do too many things at once. So flex right foot, circle left ankle. A couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. It's been a long week. And then take the left arm out to the side, shoulder height or cactus. Right hand guides your left knee over to the right. Again, don't worry if you need to make a little adjustment by moving that top leg away from your body slightly. Just gazing over towards the left side. Again, don't let your shoulder come off the floor. If it won't go down, left hand onto left hip and just let the arm, let gravity take over with that left arm to fall away from you. Again, closing eyes down if you want to. Letting the body soften here. Breathing into that nice gentle twist at the side. So one more big breath in and out. And then next inhale again, draw yourself back into the center. Give yourself a little hug with that left leg. And then come out into Shavasana. So before we settle, just give yourself a little rock with those hips, a little roll of the shoulders, and notice whether your lower back feels tight. If it does, then please do raise your knees, or you can place something underneath your kneecaps, back of your kneecaps, to soften the body. And then just closing the eyes down as you let those toes fall open. Let the legs feel heavy and relaxed. Any residual tension in those hips, take a nice big breath in and a big sigh out to release. The whole of the back body falling heavy now into the earth. No tension through those arms. Back of the head, heavy and relaxed. Again, the jaw, the eye sockets softening. As we bring the awareness onto the center of the eyebrows, completely letting go, allowing the body to release. Starting to deepen the breath as you wriggle through fingers and toes, circling through ankles and wrists. Taking those arms all the way over the head as you take a really big breath in to stretch. Huge sigh out to release. And then very slowly coming over to the right, as always, if you can, with eyes closed, coming slowly back into the body. And then when you're ready, still with eyes closed, back into our comfortable cross-legged seat. Placing your hands, palms face down into those knees, dropping chin towards the chest. And as always, when we come into these deeper restorative breaths at the end of our practice, we take a moment of reflection to acknowledge our space on the mat this evening, but also to acknowledge our space in time and life at the moment. To go through these trials and tribulations that all of us are facing, some more than others, with a sense of openness, with a sense of positivity and lightness. Holding on to this lightness as we go away from the mat this evening. Bringing those hands together, rubbing them to warm them. Generating a little bit of heat through the palms before we place those hands as cups over the eyes. Fluttering eyelids open and bringing palms down into prayer. Namaste, and thank you very much for joining me on the mat this evening. As always, wonderful to have you with me. And I do always appreciate a good little thumbs up if you enjoyed tonight's practice. I'm not sure if some of you got tight hips, you might not have enjoyed it so much. But if you could also leave a comment, that would be great too. And as always, donations are hugely welcome, but I understand if you are not quite so financially flush at the moment. So hopefully I will see you on the mat again very soon, and I have everything crossed, eyes, toes, fingers, legs, that we will hopefully be able to do our Lloyd Park open air session very soon. Perhaps not if the weather was like today, but I've got plans in the pipework, so hopefully good old Boris will tell us we can go ahead very soon, and I will be in touch with more information. Hopefully you'll have a nice rest of your evening, and I will see you on the mat hopefully either Friday morning or next Monday evening. Namaste everybody.